Welcome to Debate and Discussion, a podcast presented by Xavier Newswire. I'm your host, Aaron Albright. During the episode, I will be joined by two guests who will debate a controversial topic relating to Xavier or current events. Tonight's topic surrounds the legality of vaccine mandates, as well as vaccine passports. As vaccination against COVID-19 becomes more widespread, colleges nationwide are faced with an intense legal question. Can proof of vaccination be required? So far, Rutgers, Brown, Cornell, and Northeastern University have told students they must be vaccinated before returning to campus next fall. The schools hope that this requirement will help campus communities reach herd immunity as well as begin their return to normalcy. Currently, there is no federal guidance explicitly permitting vaccination mandates. Federal law requires colleges to provide accommodations to students who refuse a vaccine for medical reasons, and most schools also offer exemptions for religious reasons. Chancellor Kenneth Henderson of Northeastern University explained his reasoning for the mandate, saying, "It takes away any ambiguity about whether individuals should be vaccinated. It also provides a level of confidence for the entire community that we are all taking appropriate measures." Cornell President Martha Pollack agreed with Henderson's mandate, explaining, "Medical and religious exemptions will be accommodated, but the expectation will be that our campuses and classrooms will overwhelmingly consist of vaccinated individuals, greatly reducing the risk of infection for all." At Brown University, President Christina Paxson has instructed students who forego shots and have no valid exemption to file a petition to study remotely or take a leave of absence next fall. Officials at Northeastern are still deciding whether students will have to provide a medical record proving vaccination or if the school can just take the student's word for it. Other schools, like Virginia Tech, have determined they will not mandate the vaccine because the Food and Drug Administration has only allowed the emergency use of the vaccines and hasn't given them its full approval. Mandate opposers argue that premature mandates won't work with a vaccine that isn't widely approved and hasn't been proven to prevent spread of the virus. It is thought that many schools will revisit the legality of vaccine mandates when shots become more widely available and federal guidance is provided. The requirement goes hand in hand with the legality of vaccine passports, acting as proof of vaccination. These digital tools give electronic verification for negative test results, as well as vaccination, and could become more common in the resumption of air travel and admission to crowded spaces. Requiring organizations to spend a lot of money or adopt a new software could be a barrier. A digital record would have to be widely adopted by governments, airlines and ship lines, and businesses, restricting admission to e-screening of the public. The governors of Florida and Texas have vowed to block any such system, calling it government overreach and an invasion of privacy. Guidance from the government on vaccine mandates in schools, as well as in travel, are expected to be released soon. Here to debate vaccine mandates tonight, we have Gus Nations and Sam Stout. Gus is a sophomore PPP major, and Sam is a sophomore accounting and finance double major. Will you guys both briefly introduce yourselves?
Hi everyone, I'm Gus Nations. Like she said, I'm a PPP major. I'm on the track team. I'm happy to be here.
And I'm Sam Stout. I'm from Chicago, and I'm an accounting and finance major.
Thank you guys. Will you both state your stance on whether Xavier and other universities should mandate vaccines?
I'm definitely pro mandating vaccines. I think it's an important step to opening the country back up.
I think it's a bad idea. I don't think you should be mandating the vaccine.
Why do you think you shouldn't be mandating it?
I just think there's no need for certain people to get it. I think if you're in a certain group, like at-risk people, yes. But if you're a healthy person, there's over 99% survival rate, you're good to go.
But what about spreading it to others? Are you worried about that?
Well, if the people at risk get the vaccine, then they're good.
And Gus, why do you think it should be mandated?
I just think that obviously the statistics speak for themselves, and 99% survival rate is big, but a lot of people don't take into account people's comfort level. I think people have a hard time going out and being social again and being able to pick up with their lives like normal and like they should, unless there's like something that can help them do that, which would be the vaccine. Because I know even for people at Xavier, it doesn't matter that they're in the demographic that doesn't get it. They still won't come to school. And as things start to open up, those people are going to get left behind unless there's some way to make them feel more comfortable about the situation.
Couldn't you argue, though, that if you're uncomfortable with it, you should just get vaccinated and worry about yourself instead of what other people are doing?
I guess that's fair, but I think that there's a good number of the population that just can't get it or shouldn't get it. I think that people are allergic to it, will be allergic to it. I just think that for some people the health problems will outweigh the positives for them.
I think there's a very small number of people that just won't be able to get it. I think if you're worried about it, get it. But like then you're good from the coronavirus. So don't worry about what I do. Because if I get the coronavirus, if you're vaccinated, then what are you worried about?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a valid point, but like I said, at the end of the day, I just don't think that you can account for people who just will not be comfortable with the situation. Like I said, I mean, there's even people in our major in PPP who, like I said, they're not at risk, nothing, but they just didn't come to school because they don't want to be exposed to it.
There's a lot of people that are nervous, and if they're nervous, they can quarantine themselves further. But
right, but as things open up more, how are you going to account for those people? Like, I feel like they're just going to get left behind if they're not going to be able to.
They're going to have to catch up with what we're doing here. We're not going to wait for the small majority of people that aren't ready to move on.
But is it right to impose that on people?
It's not right to force me to get a vaccine.
And I guess, yeah, we're at a bit of a crossroads, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the contention should be that once I'd agree that it's probably too early in testing to really mandate it, but I think once scientifically it's proven to be effective and to not be harmful to people, I think that's like, it's like getting a flu shot. Are you going to not get the flu shot because you don't want? I mean, I guess you can, but I mean, I think most people get the flu shot.
I haven't gotten the flu shot once in my life. I haven't gotten the flu.
You've never gotten the flu?
No.
I mean, kudos to you then, I guess.
All right, so now I have a question for both of you. Do you think that there's any difference between the 3 vaccines, and which do you prefer? Sam, do you want to tell us?
I mean, I would say they're all pretty similar. From what I've seen, most of them are based on the mRNA technology, which is the first time it's ever been used on humans. I mean, they've been studying it for a while, but this is the first time it's a large-scale use. So, I mean, I think, though it has been tested for a while, I think it's a risky technology.
I'd say if you're going to pick one, you should... I don't know too much on the science, honestly, and you surprised me a little when you came out with that information you just dropped on us, but I'd say anything with 2 doses is probably a little safer. I personally got the Johnson & Johnson, and I was knocked out for like 24 hours over it. It was bad, like body aches, chills, fever, the whole 9 yards. So for that reason alone, I'd say spread it out into 2 doses.
Right, I definitely agree with that.
So, Sam, I kind of have a follow-up question. I was thinking about how you were saying you have never gotten the flu shot and you've never gotten the flu. And do you plan on getting the COVID vaccine at any point?
Probably not, no.
Even if the FDA said it's safe to do it?
No.
Do you feel that any vaccines should be mandated? Even
Yeah,
ones
I do,
that,
like the bad ones, like smallpox, polio.
but you
The
wouldn't
ones that are like, I mean, coronavirus really, I mean, it affects certain people at risk. And if you're an at-risk person, then yes, it would be a good idea to get it. But for the average Joe, I don't think it makes any difference.
So, Sam, did you receive the hepatitis vaccine that you're required to get before coming into Xavier?
I honestly don't know.
I would assume
I
so.
was going to say, if it's required, I think you
Maybe,
you probably
probably.
did.
Knowing that you've had a vaccine before, it still makes you uncomfortable and like against getting the COVID vaccine?
I'm not against getting vaccines. I just think the COVID vaccine for the average person's a little unnecessary. Like if it's like hepatitis is a lot worse for you than coronavirus. Like, and I get that people die from coronavirus, but those are mostly the at-risk groups. Like a lot of the coronavirus victims are overweight people that have a lot of underlying health conditions. So if you're one of those people, then it's a good idea to get the vaccine. But if you're a healthy person and you live a healthy lifestyle and you eat a good diet and you take like vitamins and stuff, then that's better for you than I would think the vaccine is.
All right, interesting take on that. Now, with vaccine passports becoming more commonplace, if you're required to be vaccinated to go to a concert, what's your plan?
I'm not going.
No matter if it's Garth Brooks
No.
or whoever.
I mean, I
you're
like
talking
Garth Brooks a lot, but like
The Doobie Brothers, they're
the
having a
Doobies,
concert.
it would be a tough choice, but I probably wouldn't go because I'm not going to get the vaccine.
I don't know. I think that requiring a vaccine passport is a little less of a stretch to ask. Because, I mean, the biggest part of the whole vaccine or of the whole virus was how contagious it was, and everyone was quarantining for that reason. So I think that it's just a really good idea to have the COVID or have the vaccine passport mandated, because I mean that'll stop the spread, even more efficiently than just social distancing.
So you are in favor of vaccine passports?
Yeah, I'd say so. Probably more than I am for getting the vaccine at all. I think, like I said, it's important if you don't want to spread it, and I think it's important. It's an important way to like get things moving to opening back up. If you know for a fact that you're going to go somewhere and you're not going to give it to 10 or 15 other people.
Yeah, I think that's a great point.
So, what do you guys think would be the response from the Xavier community if vaccines were required?
I don't know. It's tough to say because, I mean, a lot of people talk on both sides of their face about a lot of stuff. Like, oh, I didn't study for the test, but then you end up getting a 96 on it, so obviously you did study. So I think people would complain about it, but I think when it came down to it, everyone wants to come back to school. Everyone wants to head up to Dana's, whatever. So I think at the end of the day, people are going to get it just because they want to come back.
I think most people would be fine with it, to be honest. I don't really think there would be a few people that disagree with it, but... And
people were lining up outside the doors of Cintas to get it. I mean, like I said, I really couldn't care less what was in the virus. Like, you could have put water in it just as long as I have it, you know what I mean? So, I don't think people have a problem with it.
I'm thinking about your points, Sam, about, like, I understand your points, like, I fully see what you're saying. If the university mandates the vaccine, do you plan on getting it just to be back on campus?
I would have to think about it. I'm not saying yes right now.
Do you two see the school possibly allowing for...
I mean, mostly it's a principle thing. Like, how can they just tell me I have to get a vaccine? It's like, that's the old thing. It's like my body, my choice.
But I mean, how can they tell you?
I'll do what I want. I don't want to inject a vaccine in me. I won't do it.
It's like you give them your money. I mean, I feel like it's not too far off to say, okay, one more thing you got to do for us, I don't know.
If the university offered an incentive, would you... Shit, what was I saying?
Would you be more willing to get the vaccine?
Okay, well, let me write this down. Actually, I got this.
If the university offered an incentive, such as not wearing your mask on campus, would you be getting the vaccine?
If the university offered an incentive, such as like not wearing a mask on campus or requiring you to follow the COVID policies in your dorm or apartment room, would you still get the vaccine?
You can hit me with it twice so I can take this mask off. I'm not a big fan of them.
I mean, I think that's an incentive, but I don't think the mask does anything to begin with. I mean, it's proven that the gaiter that I'm wearing does nothing to stop the spread of coronavirus. And yet, it's an acceptable mask. So, I mean, I think it's a bunch of garbage what they're saying.
Thank you so much to Gus and Sam for debating possible vaccination mandates as well as vaccine passports. Now, let's hear from students and other Xavier community members on this issue.
So when it comes to like trying to make the vaccine mandatory on campus, I think like that's a very sticky situation for Xavier to even put themselves in. For one, it's a legal issue, but two, like how can you force somebody to take something that's so new? I think with the vaccine being so underrepresented in data, like you fall into the trap of causing other people like worse reactions than they could have gotten. But I do think it should be suggested. However, mandatory crosses too many lines.
I think that Xavier should require the vaccine because I think we need to get back to as close to normal as we can as soon as possible. And I think that would be best for everyone's mental health is if we can get back to normal next semester.
I do think that Xavier should require all students to be vaccinated for fall semester unless they have some exemption because of an allergy.
I am now joined by Grace, Gus, Sam, and Will. At Debate and Discussion, we are all about controversial topics. The question of the night is, what is the first thing you want to do after COVID restrictions are completely removed? Grace, do you want to start us off?
Sure. I'm really excited to go back to concerts and music festivals. I've definitely been missing going to Gov Ball every year.
Yeah, we both live near New York City.
So do I.
Really?
Wait, who said that?
Where are you from?
I'm from Bergen County, New
Oh, you're from New Jersey.
We don't like New
Smelly
Jersey
New
people.
Jersey. Get out.
Wait, where is that in Jersey? Like northern, central?
That's like right near.
Like right outside
Yeah.
Manhattan.
Wait, what
I don't know where
city
that
are you
is.
from?
I'm from Teaneck. Where are you from?
We're from Connecticut.
Wait, Fairfield?
Darien. I'm in Fairfield County.
Yeah.
You're in
My mom grew up in
County.
Fairfield. Fun
It's
fact.
New Haven County.
Thank you,
Really?
good sir.
Your mom grew up in
Okay,
Fairfield?
let's finish this.
I had
and
a
then
great
we'll talk.
time in Fairfield over the summer.
Let's hear about it, guys. That might be an interesting story for the radio show.
I can't put that on the air, sorry.
All right, I'll go next. If that's
Sure.
okay. I'm definitely just ready to get around a bunch of people in very close proximity without a mask on and have a good time, however that is.
I'm right there with you. I like to see people smile. I like to give people a nice smile. Sometimes I like to give them a little awkward, no teeth smile.
Thank you for
Thank you for the
demonstration.
And you know what? I like shaking people's hands.
That
You know
too.
what I mean?
Like,
I
put
like,
it there.
I like a firm handshake.
Enough of the elbow
Yes.
bump. I can't take it anymore.
Yeah,
Right
like,
there.
put it there.
Exactly. It's terrible. Like, what is that? That's not human communication.
I can't
That's
do it.
that's
A
some
good
kind
high
of
five.
psychological weird stuff.
I need just like a.
Exactly.
you.
I need exactly. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And by the way, I just want to get back in the classroom and learn how human beings were meant to learn. I am so tired of online school. It's not even funny. That's my
Keep
rant.
Zoom
Online
learning.
school.
Keep
What?
online tests.
All right, that's a hot take, I'd say.
Keep online tests.
What's a
Keep
hot take?
online
said-
tests.
She likes the online learning and the online tests.
No, I don't. Okay, I
Well,
like
I can
the
understand
online
the
tests,
test part, but
I
I
like the
understand the test.
the
part.
actual learning
no,
part.
but I like the
not gonna say
flexibility of
why I
Zoom.
understand
Like
it,
we should
but-
keep Zoom so I can like go on vacation during the school year.
You know what? That's a fair point. It's very mobile. You know, you can be around.
Right.
That's nice, but it just de-incentivizes people from going to class and paying attention.
That
That's kind
is
of the
fair.
whole point you're here.
Sam?
Every day I question.
I'm looking forward to just getting back out and living a normal life, going to concerts.
Going to Dana's.
Yeah, seeing the Doobie Brothers.
going to UC with Aaron.
I just want to go back to New York City and not have to wear masks everywhere. Thank you to everyone who has contributed to this episode of Debate and Discussion, including Managing Multimedia Editor Hunter Ellis, Show Manager Will Pembroke, Editor-in-Chief Alex Budzinski, Campus Correspondent Grace Carlo, Audio Editor Sebastian Aguilar, Multimedia Producer Gwen Haggerty, guests Gus Nations and Sam Stout, and XUFM for the use of their equipment and recording space. Don't forget to tune in next Wednesday, April 21st at 7 p.m. for our next episode of Debate and Discussion. And if you want to give a listen to our other show, Newswire Live, it airs every Monday at 7 p.m. From Xavier Newswire's podcast, Debate and Discussion, this is Erin Albright, signing off.